One of the next topics I wanted to talk about was a new addition, Malik Beasley. Now he did an event. I can't, I think it was like was it like a school event for kids out in Northville?
Yeah, so the Pistons just had so like every year they have like their Pistons Academy camp that they do for kids out in the summer. And so Malik Beasley and Ron Holland Jr. both showed up to the Pistons Academy camp and both had some pretty cool comments. I know which one you're referring to about wanting to bring back Detroit basketball.
Yeah, that was the topic. I wanted to get kind of like your take on that. So Malik obviously is from Detroit. And I learned this from talking to Corey, our good friend Corey Woods, who crushed it this week. By the way, we're going to be talking about Isaiah Thomas.
Dude's been killing it over the last couple of years. Shout out Corey.
I love to see it, man. Like the Chris Broussard interview was really good, and I think good things are going to happen for him because there's no way he could just be a local reporter. I think he's going to be a national reporter before.
Dude had quotes all over the timeline this week from his Isaiah Thomas interview. Took over the headlines for a few days there.
Yeah, it was great to see. So I learned that Malik has family in Detroit. His mom is from the 6 Mile area in Detroit. And obviously Malik got to watch the Going to Work Pistons. And he said he wants to bring the Detroit Pistons basketball energy back. So my question to you would be, what do you think of these comments by Malik Beasley? And do you think that he could try to bring back that energy that we watched as kids growing up?
Yeah, I mean, you love to hear those comments. I mean, for one, the fact that there's a player that is cognizant of knowing what that is. Like, I think, like the thing with a lot of players that come to Detroit, they've heard about how awesome of a sports town it is. And they've seen even, over the last couple of years. I mean, even last year with all the turmoil they went through, the Pistons still finished 15th in attendance, which, is a marvel within of itself. Right. But like they still haven't seen, we know of the days when they sold out 300 plus games in a row. There wasn't a day back then when there wasn't a sellout, in a Pistons game. So, just for him to know that and to, to be cognizant of that and to have that drive, to bring that back is cool to see. I think the thing, that I point to with like Malik Beasley that like impresses me, especially from like the perspective of like what Trajan Langdon did this offseason. Malik Beasley is the type of guy in past regimes where we probably would have given him like a 4-year, $64 million contract and not even batted an eye, right? Like if it would have been like, oh, we got a really good 3-point shooter. Welcome to Detroit. Yeah, we overpaid, but we're Detroit. But, for Trajan Langdon to be as patient as he was, to let the market play out and to get him on a 1-year, $6 million deal where if you like what you see, you can always bring him back. But, you have flexibility and you're getting someone who is as good as he is for the role that he plays at that value. So, just can't speak enough to how much, that brings. Now, I want to temper expectations a little bit because, when you hear Monty Williams saying last year, he wants to be remembered as an all-time great Detroit coach and, want to be embraced by the city. Like, I'm old enough to remember those comments, right? So it's like, you got to take certain things with a grain of salt. But when you have a player that's from here, that knows what it is and, actually, can show that passion, like that's real. And, I hope we do see it brought back because I mean, you and I think a big reason why we do what we do is because we know when the Pistons are at their apex, there is not a feeling that can be beat of a packed Pistons arena when Detroit basketball is being yelled after a big play was made. Nothing can beat that.
Yeah, I mean, those times growing up, I didn't know how spoiled I was to have a good basketball team. And then this past season made me appreciate them even more. But I love hearing players want to bring back that energy. Now, I don't think we can play defense to go in the work Pistons. I don't think you can do that.
We're not that team defensively for sure.
No. I mean, arguably, I would say our best defender right now is Asar Thompson. And then you could have a debate who the second best defender is.
Yep.
I think when some people maybe, go watch, I think Amari had a interview with him. He posted it on Twitter. A lot of other beat reporters had it as well. The way I took it is he wants to get the Pistons back to playing winning basketball, not so much like, locking people down and holding people under 70 points. Because I mean, teams score 70 points at halftime, Sean. Like,
yeah,
you're just not going to be doing that. I think
those days are long gone.
Yeah, I think his comments were more of a standpoint of like, I want to get the city of Detroit excited. I want to get them hyped up. And if you just kind of like YouTube some of Malik Beasley's comments, I hope he does kind of do like the Harlem Shake when he shoots a three to Detroit, because I know Detroiters would absolutely love that.
Oh yeah.
I was really big on Malik Beasley too. I mean, I had him in my top 10 is the players to go after. I didn't expect 1 year, $6 million, because to your point, that would have been a guy like 4 years, $64 million. That, past regimes definitely would have given a Malik Beasley a type of contract like that.
That would have been the marquee signing. Like I remember a few years ago, please welcome Avery Bradley, introductory press conference going down. Like that was the big move. And this year it's maybe the third or fourth biggest move they made this offseason, which for what he brings is saying something.
Yeah, it's wild, because like when I know this is completely off topic, it's another Malik. When I saw Malik Monk resign in Sacramento before the offseason like really started officially, I was like, oh, the shooting guard market might be pretty expensive. And then you see guys like Malik Beasley sign for $6 million, which is like dirt cheap. And then you see guys like Gary Trent sign for dirt cheap as well. I was really surprised that the shooting guard market was so bad this summer. I thought, Malik Monk's deal really would have had agents like salivating. But I mean, like getting a guy of his caliber, a high volume 3-point shooter that, shoots around 7-8 threes a game at anywhere between like 38 to 40% this past season in Milwaukee, having a high volume 3-point shooter that could possibly start, possibly come off the bench, help Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. I think it was just an A+ signing in my opinion.
Yep. I mean, this was just a bizarre summer. Like, not to get too far off topic, but you bring up guys like Gary Trent Jr. Like there were a lot of guys, like you said, where just the market did not play out the way that they thought, and a lot of that was just because of a lot of the stuff we saw with the change to like the way the salary cap works, and those taxing brackets that really punish teams if you get really, like if you have like a really hard cap.